Hello everybody. Video here for you today. These are the retro no cap recaps of the Curse of Oak Island season 5, episodes 3 and 4, originally aired in November of 2017. If you missed my recaps of previous and future episodes, there's a link in the upper right. Let's get into it. Do. Previously on the Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 228 years. Rick, Marty, and Dave and Gary metal detect in Lot 16 between the man-made swamp and the money pit area. It has not been cleared of brush and trees and is the home of unsearched spoils from the 1965 Robert Dunfield dig. The first find is a modern nail, but the next spot has this 1673 British coin and an identical 1694 one. In season 1, they found a 1652 Spanish Meridivi coin in the swamp. Gary reminds that pirate Captain Kidd might be involved because late 1600s is his time period, and he reportedly said he had buried treasure on an island east of Boston before he was hanged. In the money pit area, they are continuing the grid pattern drilling in order to determine the location of the original money pit, tunnels, a debris field, or anything else of interest. The next hole is between the Hedden and Chapel shafts and is the spot in which the Chapel vault was discovered in 1897 at 153-foot depth. When they pulled up the drill bit, it had traces of gold on it. They do not see any traces of concrete or wood from a wall, but do hit something that is harder to drill through at 162 feet, and this piece of metal comes up in the spoils. Below the vault, William Chappell also hit metal or something else he could not drill through. What do you think this, the white thing in between Rick's fingers here is? A frayed bandage, maybe? A bigger piece of metal also comes up. After that, they suddenly cannot penetrate any lower. Rather than force it, they will just move on to the next hole a few feet over. They will be metal detecting in all of those holes. The team receives a letter from the government restricting metal detecting by itself and digging, among other things. Marty believes that the government is getting pressure from the archaeological community due to the incredible number and nature of the finds made on Oak Island. Rick and Marty meet with the Ministry of Culture and Heritage and propose the hiring of an archaeologist to make sure everything is done correctly, including permits for each individual project and digging previously detected metal items be first approved by the archaeologists. Spoiler alert, that is the way things are done to this day, but it is also not the last time that government puts restrictions in place concerning the Oak Island search. They, of course, had Laird Niven in mind for that, since he has already advised the team on a number of things, and narrator Robert Clotworthy tells us that he helped the team acquire their treasure trove license in 2010, even before the show started. That's something I don't recall ever hearing before until this current rewatch of this particular episode. Laird returns to the island and accepts the job, saying that he has always been impressed how seriously the Laguna team takes the stewardship of the island, and that's one of the reasons he always likes working there. Laird is able to expedite the permit process and returns the next day to join Rick, Marty, and Gary for more detecting on Lot 24, where several coins and other items related to Samuel Ball were found the previous year. Marty pulls up tree stumps with a backhoe so they can be metal detected beneath. Gary finds the bowl part of a spoon, which Laird identifies as 1700s. He also finds an iron strap. The next stump uprooting reveals placed stones, which could be cultural, but Gary is able to retrieve this pewter, as he says, spoon bowl, directly from the stump roots. They must stop work in the area otherwise until Laird can further examine it. I don't recall what, if anything else, was done on the show on Lot 24 since. The progress as of the start of episode 4 of season 5 is that 16 boreholes have been dug as part of the grid pattern designed to find evidence of man-made workings or treasure below. The team is also casing the boreholes with plastic so they can metal detect them later. Today's hole is expected to go through the chapel shaft, a searcher shaft dug in the 1930s that penetrated what is now known as the chapel vault, consisting of a wooden box with concrete covering. The drill bit also brought up gold flakes and a parchment with the letters VI on it. Today at 166 feet, the bit encounters a 3-foot void, then a 30-foot void at 179 feet underground. The spoils are also revealing axe-cut wood. Rick and Charles suspect that it's the spiral tunnel that Robert Restall reported finding in 1963. No other known searcher shafts go this deep. They sketched what they believe they found, like this image. Restall and his son, along with 2 other men, died 2 years later while investigating a flooded shaft in Smith's Cove due to poisonous gas from underground. Max Williamson of Brewster Drilling gets injured when a hose breaks free of its coupling as shown here. He suffers a broken wrist, a bruised leg, and possibly a broken rib. He jokes about almost being the 7th death in active search of the treasure. There's folklore that the curse of Oak Island is that 7 people must die before the treasure can be found, which is the basis of the show's name. The site is shut down while they investigate the exact cause of the accident. Meanwhile, Gary, Jack, and Peter return to Isaac's Point to continue metal detecting. They uncover a bit of searcher history when they first unearth the barrel and then the handle of a toy cap gun. Gary estimates it's from the 50s or 60s, 1950s or 60s that is, and Rick later immediately guesses correctly that it belonged to Richard Restall, who was 9 years old when he, his parents, and older brother moved to Oak Island. Brewster Drilling determines that the failsafe connector Marty is holding should have kept the coupling and the hose together but failed. These will switch to this different type, which is more like a finger trap and should be much more reliable. Lee Lamb, the oldest Restall child, already married when her parents and brothers moved to Oak Island, and her brother Richard Restall visit Oak Island to inspect the recently completed visitor center. They are pleased to see the Restall maps on the walls and other documentation of their search efforts. Richard confirms that this was his cap gun, lost approximately 50 years prior. No Cap recaps of season 11 will debut Tuesday late nights, and always continue these retro No Cap recaps of seasons 5 through 8. Seasons 1 through 4, 9, and 10, and the aired episodes of season 11 are already done. Upcoming streams, we have Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money tonight and most Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central Time. The Ramsey Show After Show will be on Christmas Day. That's this Monday, Christmas Day, 2023, and New Year's Day, January 1st, 2024, and January 3rd, 2024, and January 15th, 2024. So a bunch coming up right now, including 3 in January. And that's the Ramsey Show After Show, and that starts right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends. It will be replays of the Ramsey Show on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Hopefully a new one on the 3rd of January, and almost certainly a new one would be on the 15th. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, like Oak Island, at CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. These links are also in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and much appreciated for all your support.